Good morning to all of you. Professor C. Rajkumar, Professor Ramat Mohammed, Secretary General, Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, Mr. Hafizullah Wali Rahimi, General Director, Competition Promotion, Consumer Protection Directorate, Ministry of Commerce and Industries, Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, Mr. Dhanendra Kumar, Chairman of the Draft Committee on Competition Policy, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Pradeep S. Member, Greatest Votary of Competition Policy in India, who is also Secretary General CUTS International, distinguished delegates from India and abroad, my beloved students who have come, I was told, all the way from Sonipat to participate and got up at 6 a.m. But I am one step up. I got up at 4 a.m. and because I had to catch the flight which was to fly at 5:45 a.m. So I think I am much better. Anyway, but I find a lot of restrictive practices here as against the competition, the seat and lack of space. I was told that the institute was started with only, this hall can contain only 70 people. It's very restrictive. I think it should open. The competition culture should start from here, expanding the scope. I always believe in that. I am rather, I always break rules. When I was a small kid, I don't remember the exact age, but a small kid. Early morning I visited a temple. That there is a lot of restriction. You can't, sanctum sanctorum, you cannot. I knew that you cannot enter. But I said, what is that, some secret? Why you don't allow? So I entered. Said, then there was a big galata in that village. And a lot of things happened. I'm telling you, I started breaking this restrictive practice right from my childhood. Just to say that sometime you have to break the rules. Otherwise, nobody will break the rules. So anyway, I'm also happy that, the competition pays. And competition always pays the dividend for the country, the students, in fact, it opens up, what do I say, unleashes the economy, the energy, the economy of the country. Or this is what the benefit. One example, of course, I never knew what is that competition commission or law, but in 90s, all this, we had number of, Karnataka was considered to be the mecca of professional education. You remember at that time, many of the law colleges, not the law college, many of these engineering, medical, and all these colleges, they are restricted because only the entry bar, because, they had to pay lakhs of rupees for admission. And this is the entry bar. And, they are happy with that money. They used to, managements used to, whatever the surplus generated, surplus is always generated, they will not invest back to the institution. They used to take it away and invest somewhere. This used to happen in Karnataka. I just thought that, institutions not growing, the money is being collected, and people have been restricted, the real merited students are not coming in. What is this? I just thought, if I were to know about the value of the competition policy, I would have done much more. But, in my own, as a layman, what I did, I immediately, have instituted a system like common entrance test. First time in India. We started from Karnataka. Then, it was open to everybody. We put up a counter, with the all IT systems, the student will walk into the counter and he will, decide about his own future, which college he has to go. Then the money, whatever is collected that was also collected in that counter of the government. And, then that money is to be sent to the institutions because they will not harass them for competition fees across their counter. I never allowed that these students should be exposed to those counters. Then ultimately what happened, then they had to, whatever the money was collected by them, they had to account for it. They will have to reinvest back in the institution. As a result, today, we have world-class institution in Karnataka. At that time, everybody got upset. They said, some of the Swamijis, so-called, they cursed me that, what is this? I said, it's a blessing. And ultimately today, all of them, they say that, Moili, you have done a wonderful job. Because of this, we could build world-class infrastructure, world-class, because there is competition. Otherwise, there is no competition. And the competition resulted in bringing world-class institution in Karnataka. Competition brought in world-class, faculty for many of these institutions. And, and as a result, because of the innovation adopted by many of these institutions, Karnataka became #1 center. I'm just telling you this is, my own personal or administrative experience. This is the benefit. I think it unleashes. We can't have mediocrity. There is no space for mediocrity now. I always say that, when I entered as a lawyer to the profession, my senior said, there is no place in the mediocrity. If you can reach up to the level of excellence, you have plenty of vacancies. I always aimed at that. This is what, lesson, this is the basic lesson from the competition culture. Competition culture unleashes this kind of energy of a country, energy of a person, energy of the institution. That's why, we need to have this kind of a disruption of the system and create a competition regime, which will create this kind of an energy in the country, energy in the economy. That is what sometime we were, always I believe on a principle of expansion, inclusion and excellence. There only you get, competition will yield result. You put up a you have seen, the students, we used to have IIM, IITs and all these institutions. And I was appointed as the chairman of the oversight committee. I wanted to see expand. Everybody was surprised. These are all the sanctified institutions. We expanded only all these 45 years, only 1%. How can you ask us to expand 54%? I said, no, you can do it. What is required is faculty, yes, first-class faculty. Need to create that. You need to create the first-class physical infrastructure. All that I gave 18,500 crores for 5 years from the government of India. It was agreed to, my recommendation was agreed. As a result, what has happened? All these IIM, IIT, all these big institutions which expanded only 1%, 45 years, it expanded 54% within 5 years. It opened up. You join that, that competitive spirit with which you join. But sometimes you say, we always hesitate. This man is not that intelligent to join this institution. This man is not intelligent to, come along with us. You are really injecting, non-merit student. There is no such, all this myth of Dr. Rajkumar, the myth of the merit and non-merit is a real myth which we need to explore. I'm telling you one small example. In States, my daughter sent a cutting to me, where, the twins were born to a mother. And, the one child, doctor said, practically declared that one child is almost died. But the other child, quite healthy. Normal course is the doctor advised, don't put them both in the same incubators. Don't put them in incubators. But after the doctor left the ward, nurse broke the rule. She put both the children in the same incubator. And that healthy child put the arm around the unhealthy child or dying child. You know what happened? Ultimately, that dying child, got the inspiration, got that what you call the heat, and both of them survived. I'm just telling you, this is the example I give. Don't admit non-merited students. Why not? With the introduction of one small example in the oversight committee, when we conducted a survey, where in the north it is not there, north still we think, there are merit people, unmerited people. There, the reservation acts, backward students or other students, what happened? They also got admission in the engineering, professional colleges. We conducted a survey. Yes, while at the time of the admission, there is some problem. That's how, they are not equal. But after the admission, when they appear for examination, I must tell you, these so-called unmerited backward class people, they got more first classes, more distinction than the general merited student. How can it happen? That's why I'm telling all the students, you think, that superiority complex, remove it. You have, everybody has a space in this country, everybody has a space in the respective institution. Unfortunately, we have a lot of anti-competitive mindset with us. And if that is demolished, I think new horizon of energy will definitely gush out. This is what I am telling you. This is what, according to me, the real competition. Our country has a great future. That's what I am telling you. But we need to build the institutions, build new system. The competition policy is one such transformational regime which we need to get in, without any further delay. That is what, we intend to do it. Of course, the champions like Pradeep Mehta, Dhanendra Kumar, they have also already come out with a policy, competition policy, which I would like to, get it approved from the cabinet by March 2012. This is what we intend to do it. And in accordance with that, they have already drafted, many amendments to the present Competition Act. That's also coming out. We have sent it for the cabinet, the various ministries for cabinet approval. So a lot of things are happening in this country, but we have to fast track it. There is no point in delaying it. Any delay will add up to inefficiency of the country. There are three things, which will happen by the competition culture being imbibed everywhere. Number one, it is an answer to inflation. Inflation cannot be tackled only by, monetary policy. It is not going to happen. Yes, I must tell you, I was told that in the US, I think you all know that, the US petroleum products price came down 50% down by appropriate competition policy and strategy. It can happen. Then, even, it will definitely, the problem of inflation can be effectively tackled by introducing the competition. We need to work on the strategies though. Then job creation, it opens up, big horizon to creating a job. By merely saying that, industrialize or agriculture, no, this is not enough. Unless the institutional changes are effected, particularly in accordance with the competition culture, the job, that area of the job space will not be increased at all. So these are the immediate benefit that you are going to get it by introducing the competition. I am very happy that, you are discussing that. The institution which is started by Jawaharlal Nehru with this great vision. He wanted that institutions, legal institutions, should come up here. Every time the World Bank comes out with a report that, there are a lot of legal hurdles in making business in India or in some Asian countries. And, why should we hear that? I would like to see that, put in such systems and regulatory methods and institutions by which I think within 2-3 years, World Bank should come out with repeatedly some report saying that making business in India and the Asian countries is easiest. We need to do that. We need to dismantle some of those things. Let us directly address those problems. And that is what we intend to do it. And I must tell you that market economy, healthy for a dynamic and healthy market, competition culture is a must. And it is inevitable, we need to have it. It is not for, it benefits everyone ultimately. It will not take away, but it will add up to the value of the product, the efficiency of the product. And, accountability of any firm, towards the country, towards the people. This is what we need to do it. And that is what I think you intend to discuss the entire day. And, otherwise, the whole economy will be stagnated. It will sink. It will not expand. Growth impulses can be further augmented by introduction of the competition policy. This is what we need to do it, and I think India is determined to do these things. We need to take it forward. I am very happy that students are involved. This is what I think I am suggesting the HRD department also. This kind of a competition policy as a frame frame of mind will have to be inculcated in the student's mind. That's why, with the kind of a background we have, with the kind of a anti-competitive forces governing the everyday life of a country, whether it is market or the economy or our social life, I think we need to come out. People should realize that it is only by unleashing the energy of the country through the regime of competition, we can build this country, not otherwise. Otherwise, it will be only making some, make change, and it's, we are only, only accommodating things. We don't want that kind of an accommodation. Yes, there are certain protection at certain time which is required. Now we can stand up to any competition in the world. I'm telling you, the information technology regime which I built in 70s in Karnataka, with the electronics, building an electronic city, everybody laughed at me. Nobody wanted to encourage it, but I did it. And ultimately what has happened today? Information technology, Karnataka stands first, and even US President Obama, it always mentioned about Karnataka, IT. This can be done. This is what we need to build. When he mentioned about the law school university, when we started, when I started, initiated that step of starting a first new law school, people were said, this is yet another college, what is this? Great to give 50 acres of land, so many crores of rupees to one college. This could have been distributed among various colleges. I said, no, this is the college of the future. That has pioneered even the global, all this later, even in the private sector, some of these law colleges came, only because we could pioneer that kind of a things. It opens up. It creates that kind of a, every faculty there is always, that capacity available to bring up the students, to bring up the knowledge area. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. When you acknowledge knowledge as a power, we need to build institutions to develop that. That kind of a that kind of a vibration in the economy or a social life or a educational life of a country should take place. This is what we need to do it. So, this is, I want you that, that kind of a new direction is necessary for the country and all the Afro-Asian countries. We need to do that. This is how it was done. That's what we are preparing we are preparing ourselves for this great change which is taking place. Up to 2035, another 25 to 30 years, our country will be the youngest country, India. That advantage only US had about 200 years back. They put in all the systems, regulations, and they also put in, that kind of a manpower, infrastructure, and also the physical infrastructure, so that take care of these challenges. We need to take care of. There are no challenges in life, but it's only an opportunity. Challenges will follow up with the opportunity. That's how we need to build that kind of event. Without building the manpower, utilize the instrument of knowledge as power, we cannot build this country. This is what we would like to do it, by 2035, we should march forward. This is how my call to all the Afro-Asian countries, this is the potential place. This is where, new ideas can be planted, innovative ideas can be planted, and with that culture, we grow together. And, that is the intention of Jawaharlal Nehru creating an institution like this. Create that kind of a system, create that kind of legal systems, so that it will not be obstacle. Legal paradigm shift should help us to grow, not to curb ourselves. This is what, the purpose of creating this system. I am very happy today that both the Global University, which has made a real name with the shortest time, that too with Dr. Rajkumar as a lead, he developed this. And today we have seen that, I was told that yesterday there was a moot court and they came first. Global Law College came first. I congratulate you for this kind of an achievement. And from success to success, you are marching on. And this is how the institutions will have to be built. And today we discuss about the competition law in emerging economies, trends and developments in India and abroad. This kind of a conference which is organized both by the Jindal Global Law School and also Asian African Legal Consultative Organization should create that kind of an atmosphere so that all of us can grow together in a big way, and this is a potential force. And unleash them, I think there is no sky is the limit for the development of economy and the development of these regions. With this, I conclude. I am very happy to inaugurate this, and we have veterans today, and they are going to participate. And I think this conference should usher in that kind of a, I must say, not revolution, e-revolution in the economy of these countries. Thank you very much. All the best.